Black Adam. With the general DC film universe, it's like everything went wrong from the very beginning. Justice League, which was supposed to be Warner Bros. Answered on the Avenger, turned into failure in the eyes of society, and all the other parts of the CU didn't shine with special hits. At the same time, individual DC Comics films have recently turned out to be excellent, which is proved by Batman with Robert Pattinson and the Joker with Joaquin Phoenix. But the film studio doesn't abandon attempts to develop the film universe to at least an acceptable level. Black Adam is the next of these attempts. We'll tell you in the review below how successful it turned out. The story of the film tells about a superhero, Black Adam, Dwayne Johnson. 5,000 years before the beginning of the immediate events of the plot, he rebelled against tyranny in his state of conduct, for which the Council of Wizards endowed him with the power of the six gods, but almost immediately imprisoned because Adam's finger could harm peaceful people. The hero was released from a kind of prison by the archaeologist Adriana Thomas, Sarah Sahel, who simultaneously participated in the resistance movement in conduct. After all, the country remained unsolved, but the appearance of Black Adam can significantly change the course of history. This is guessed by Amanda Waller, Viola Davis, who follows the meta-humans around the world. She who sends the Justice Society of America to deal with Adam before he does anything wrong. There were enough problems with the production of Black Adam, as it practically already accepted in the DCEU. According to the original idea, Adam was supposed to appear in Shazam as the main antagonist, but the idea was abandoned. Therefore, Shazam and Adam decided to separate their solo films in order to adequately represent everyone and leave the confrontation of the character for later. At the same time, this project turned out to be extremely personal for the main actor, Dwayne Johnson. He admitted that his brother Black Adam is since childhood. Therefore, while working on the film, he was also engaged in producing and actively promoting the picture, and also tried to help with all the elements of cinema. Johnson is attracted to Adam by the rebellious nature of the character and his desire to always go ahead, which is simultaneously combined with a clear moral cut. Black Adam is not really a superhero, but an anti-hero. He doesn't care about world justice, he does not seek to save everyone in the world, and he is ready to destroy enemies in the most terrible and cruel ways. His anger regularly harms ordinary people, whom Adam allegedly tried to protect. The whole film is based on the ambiguous nature of the character. Moreover, the authors do not try to romanticize his nature, as is often the case with anti-heroes. For example, the same Venom or Red Hood has formed a very strong sympathy around itself. Black Adam is built in such a way that it will not come out to love the hero with all my heart until the very end. Yeah, Adam destroys enemies with such colorful methods that the film practically enters the territory of gore fetishes. However, the rating of the film is still PG-13, so don't expect any special revelation, but every action moment in which the titular anti-hero incinerates everyone which lighting the interiors of the limbs of soldiers is shaded by the demonstration of the consequences of such uncontrolled force. The represents of the Justice Society of America in the film also works on such a development of the mood of the history, and at the artistic stage it seems that it would only get on the way. And its introduction into the plot looked like a strange bending to the DC cinematic universe. However, in fact, it creates an interesting contrast with Black Adam, developing the main ideas of the film. For the first third of the timekeeping, it seems that society is narcissistic egoists who ignore the problems of ordinary people outside the United States and resemble bureaucrats from the world of superheroes. Adam, against their background, who does not waste time on war, but immediately acts looks like a real fighter for justice. But the further the film goes, the less attractive Black Adam begins to seem, and the more sense there is in the action of representatives of society, and they themselves begin to look more human than an uncontrolled defender with the power of the gods. In parallel, another interesting theme of the film is revealed. After all, it unfolds in a remote and further close state of the conduct, with the problems of which the world's superheroes are not in a hurry to deal with. The country is occupied by foreign mercenaries, people live in fear, and the appearance of an undeniable force instead of empty promises is a real way to salvation for the locals. That is, Black Adam also touches on the issues of the absence of emulated goodness, even in the world of superheroes, in which someone will still have to suffer and endure. It's unlikely that the authors aspired to this, but when viewing it, you can see a lot of parallels with the current events in the situation in the nearest country, condemning terror instead for real actions, occupation, and superstition of a national identity, ignoring the problems of an entire country for the sake of illusory world peace, and uniting the nation for freedom. All these topics are in Black Adam, and they have been given enough time to discuss them. You don't expect such gloomy allusion to reality from a movie comic, but the film is all the more valuable a work of art. Additionally, it's interesting that although the war and there is an extremely evil powerful force in the film, as is customary in comic book plots. Adam and society are fighting against ordinary people. From the point of view of action, this creates a lot of colorful scenes. But the scenario level, Black Adam seems to proclaim that the main evil is potentially hidden in the heart of Adam himself. Unfortunately, such ambiguity is destroyed in the last quarter of the film. Before that, Black Adam had every chance to become a new world in superheroics, which instead of classic epic battles at the end would offer in a good way a dreary and sad meaninglessness of what was happening. By the end, an objectively depicable villain appears, and this moment the movie returns to the rails of standard superheroics without revelation, which is not entirely bad given the adequately implemented ideas in the main part of the script, but such a change of vector still goes to the detriment of the innovation of the narrative. But the final battle turned out to be extremely colorful. You can take that way. Black Adam as well looks impressive from the point of view of special effects. They're not just perfectly executed here, but also regularly placed from an artistic and creative point of view, especially when Dr. Fate, Billy Batson, appears on the screen, every spell of which is a complete aesthetic pleasure. Quiet in the gloom is sometimes customary with DC. The film doesn't slide. There are enough genuinely funny moments in it, which at the same time are competently staged and do not turn into a frank cringe. The latter is often signed by films, especially TV series from Marvel. The humor in Black Adam is built on the inexperiences of the characters who find themselves in unusual circumstances or for themselves and from different sides. And every character in the film seems important and necessary, even if role in key events is not so great because of this local history is woven into a strong rope, which will become a new support for such a shaky DC cinematic universe. The importance of the film for DCU is hinted by the scene after the credits, in which one old and long-awaited acquaintance will appear, so the main confrontation are still ahead. The advantages of the film: high quality production, interesting ideas for superheroics, constant good acting, relevant humor. Cons: the last quarter exchange the film's innovation for standard superheroics. Conclusion: Dwayne Johnson spoke about Black Adam as if it was a new world in superhero cinema, and the film almost managed to become one, but the ending failed somewhat. However, even without this, Black Adam is an excellent work and definitely one of the best in the DCEU.
I love the chase and the hunt, and I set the pace when I'm running. I always take what I want and I always give it 100. Don't need a bank, no I'm funded. Play the game like it's nothing. I'm always thankful for something. Don't take for granted, stay humble. Now wake up! It's time to look at the enemy. Look in the mirror if he is no friend to me. It's not working out.